what you like to eat, and kind of who do you like to talk to? Can you take us sort of what your Saturday night plans are?
Yeah, they're a little different than they usually are, obviously with the COVID protocols. But for the most part, I mean, you go through your kind of your first 15s, stuff like that. You go through scenarios that can present itself during the game, kind of those last end of game scenarios, and then you just go out there and you're ready to play. And I talk to everybody as much as I can in those mill rooms, even though we're separated and everything like that. Then I get in bed, get a good night's sleep. You start visualizing plays as you get ready for bed, and then it's game time. It's ready to go.
We'll go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey Sid, I'll have a follow up to this, but Patrick, kind of related to what you were just asked, except for I wanted to backtrack what's already happened this week. Can you kind of give us a sense of how much extra obligations you have this week compared to a normal week?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ted and Brad did a good job of kind of spreading it out for me, and we kept it where it was only a couple things a day. But just getting able to talk to the media, getting able to kind of give your input on what you think you can do to go out there and execute. But at the same time, you expect it now. Last year was obviously in person, but you got a sense of for what it's like. And this year you get to do it virtually, but you understand what this week entails, which I think will help out a lot of guys in being prepared for the game.
And just as a quick follow up, I mean, can you give us a sense of what it's like to be answering questions for hours every single day for an entire week?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get used to it, I guess, in a sense. You prepare yourself to go in and try to present the best representation of not only yourself but of the team. And I try to do that every single time and be a good representation of myself and the Kansas City Chiefs.
We'll go next to Jory Epstein, USA Today. Go ahead, Jory.
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for your time today. You've spoken about why it's important to you to work in the community and to be vocal about these social justice issues, but what this season are you most proud of accomplishing, whether it's something voter registration or something that you were able to do with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously, the voter registration stuff was huge. Not only getting all of our team registered to vote, but to present it to Kansas City and get voting machines in Arrowhead and show that we support people going out and using their voice. But for me, I think it was just the open dialogue that we had within the team. People from all different backgrounds kind of showing their point of views and coming together and making us even closer. That just kind of is a small sample of what we can do in this country in order to help become more unified and to be better as we want to continue to move forward and make progress.
We'll go next to Danny Welniak, KCTV. Go ahead, Danny.
Patrick, hope all is going well. I have a non-football question for you. Obviously, you and Brittany are getting very close to being parents. Are you concerned at all that you might end up with a Super Bowl baby? And how ready are you guys to embark on that next chapter of life?
Yeah, well, first off, we're extremely ready. We're excited. We have all the things planned out and every single gadget and tool you can have to be great parents. But at the same time, I'm trying to tell her to hold off until after the game. But whenever it happens, it happens. But if we can wait till maybe a few weeks after the game, that would probably be ideal.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick, I got two questions for you, man. When you think about the speed that's around you, just how much of a difference does that make for your job? And then secondly, talking to some guys who did not play in the game last year, obviously Juan Thornhill, Alex Okafor, you got a ton of rookies with you. Just how nice is it and satisfying to give those guys the opportunity based on the work you and your teammates have done this year?
Yeah, I mean, to your second question, it's definitely satisfying with those guys like that. I mean, like Juan and Alex Okafor, I mean, they were such big parts of our team last year, and they didn't get the opportunity to play in the big game. And I mean, you never know if you're going to make it back here. I mean, we preach that to each other. I mean, every single day. I mean, obviously we're here for the second straight year, but you never know if you'll get another opportunity to be in this game. And so that's a huge deal. And we're going to try to really not take any day for granted and prepare ourselves to be the best that we can be on Super Bowl Sunday. You got to ask your first question one more time for me again.
Yeah, it's just how much does the speed around you help your job, and just how different is it even when you were playing in college, right? Just the amount of speed and how much that makes your job and just everybody's job easier on the field.
Yeah, it's a tremendous effect. I mean, it's something that's truly special. I mean, having those guys that are physical, but they're also extremely fast. It puts defenses in dangerous spots. I mean, that when they want to bring pressure, and you see how we do so well against pressures, is because I can get the ball out of my hand quickly, and these guys can make plays happen. And so, I mean, it's something where it makes defenses really have to second guess what they want to do in order to stay on top of guys like Tyreek and McCole and all these other receivers that we have. And it opens up the field for guys underneath. And it's something that really is a big part of our offense.
We'll go next to Ryan Dunleavy.
Patrick, I was just wondering, is your approach to this matchup against a quarterback who's been here 9 other times differ compared to last year against an inexperienced team?
Not necessarily. I don't think the approach going into the game. I think the one thing you have to understand is that the game it's never going to be over. Knowing the two teams that are playing, neither team's going to give up until that clock hits 0 and the score is the score. And so I think during the game, just knowing that you're going to have to battle to the very end of the game is something that you have to understand going into this one.
Next, we'll go to Nora Princiati. Go ahead, Nora.
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for doing this. So you guys have been really effective as an offense in 3rd and long situations and converting those, which obviously you don't want to be in those situations, but if you can do that, that's great to keep your drives going. Can you just speak a little bit to the mentality of being able to be in those situations, trusting that you can find a way out of them, and kind of what it does to a defense that you're facing when you are able to stay on the field, maybe after getting yourselves out of a situation that they might have started to feel like they kind of had you pinned back there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks to the guys on this team and that never give up attitude. First off, you have to have the offensive line give you time in those 3rd and long situations. You have to have the receivers, which I'm lucky enough to have, that are fast enough to get down the field and get themselves open. And then you just execute. And I think that goes to Coach Reed and the way he runs practice and the way he runs our training camp is he prepares us for those situations. So guys know exactly what they want to do. And we go out there and we just try to execute and keep it much. And so that's something that I've battled with my entire career. And it's something that I try to execute to the very top of the limit, but never going past it.
Thanks.
We'll go next to Jason Romano.
Hey, Patrick, I wanted to ask you about your faith. I know it's an important part of your life. You come from a family of faith. Can you share how that faith in the Lord and prayer guides you as a football player and even more as a man?
Yeah, I think it guides you as you know why you're playing the game, and you know that obviously you want to win, but at the end of the day, you're doing it for something that's much bigger than yourself, and you're trying to represent something that's much bigger than yourself. And I think having that confidence and having that trust lets you go out there and be who you are and play freely.
Thank you.
And we'll go to Richard Graves next. Go ahead, Richard.
Hey, Pat. I'd like to go back to this issue of leadership if we can. Over the last 12 months, we've seen plenty of footage of you interacting with your teammates on the sideline and the positivity you exude. I wonder if you could just take us through your mentality and where that unwavering, unwilling to be defeated, that unwavering attitude comes from.
Yeah, I think you have to build that with the guys in the locker room. You have to believe in each other so much that things positive happen, and I feel like we have that. We believe that we can battle with anybody, and that we can find a way to win in any type of football game. And I think that comes from not only me, but all the guys on this team, and we support each other to the very end. And no matter what's happened before, we're going to believe in that person the next play.
Thank you, Patrick. That's all for today.